Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas. Listen, welcome to another episode of Vitamin M Motivation with me, Marshall Sterling. You are close. You are so close to the end of the year. And listen, you are doing a great job ending out this year. I am so proud of you. This is the pre-show. This is time for you to get ready to be motivated and inspired. Once again, Merry Christmas to you. I hope that the holiday season thus far has treated you well. We are setting the stage for 2025. Listen, we have set a couple of things over the last couple of weeks into practice. We have talked about rest. We have talked about the power of no. We have talked about access granted. We have talked about practice what you preach. We have discussed all of these things, all the things that's leading up to us having an amazing year. Practice what you preach. We learned about release yourself, and on tonight, forgive and be forgiven. Forgive and be forgiven. Forgive and be forgiven. You have the power to release yourself. And when you release yourself, when you make it to that spot, and you must learn to also walk a place of forgiveness and gratitude. Forgive and be forgiven. Forgive and be forgiven. It's something about when you are able to forgive others, when you're able to release yourself and also forgive yourself for holding your own self back. But to get ready for tonight, what do you need? You need your Vitamin M journal, you need a writing tool, and you need an open heart, mind, and soul so that you are ready to receive. Let's go get your vitamins. This is your Vitamin M. This is your motivation for the week. Get your vitamins. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yeah, good evening. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. Hey, Merry Christmas to you. Hey, good evening. I am overjoyed that you made the decision to join me on tonight to go get your vitamins. Hey, go get your vitamins. I see you getting your vitamins. Hey, I see you getting your vitamins. Hey, I see you getting your vitamins. Hey, get your vitamins. Get your vitamins. Get your vitamins. You need to get your weekly recommended dose of Vitamin M, where the M stands for motivation. It is my personal recommendation that you continue along this journey because you have made so much progress, because everything is working out in your life. You must take action on the things that you have learned from the Vitamin M show. Listen, it's one thing to show up. It's one thing to show up, and I'm going to say that again. It is one thing to show up. It is another thing to take the things that you have learned and to put them into action. We've all been somewhere and learned something, and then we just put it on the back burner. It's okay if you tuck it in your pocket, but I need you to put these things into action. I need you to do this. Listen, because they're going to impact your next level. See, I am your guide. I am your motivator. I am your source of inspiration. I am your biggest fan. I am your cheerleader. I am all those things. I am the one that believes in you. When you don't believe in yourself, I see the greatness within you. This is our time together to ignite a force that is within you and ready to take take off. This is our time for you to become unstoppable. May the holiday season ignite a fire in you of love, of joy, and of peace. When we begin on tonight, we need to talk about our 3 objectives, and they are to break down walls, to produce positive thinking, and to exhibit resilience amid any situation. As we are in this holiday and Merry Christmas season, listen, I want you tonight to begin to think about forgive and be forgiven is so important. Tonight we are discussing forgive and be forgiven. I know that you're knee deep. I know that you are busy this holiday. I know that you're busy this holiday season. I just want to take a little bit of your time to say forgive and be forgiven, forgive and be forgiven, forgive and be forgiven. We can't expect something that we aren't willing to do ourselves. I'm going to say that again. We can't expect something that we're not willing to do ourselves. Listen carefully. Forgive and be forgiven. Forgive and be forgiven. It is an exchange. It's a give and a take. I'm sorry, you can say what you want to say, but you cannot expect something that you are not willing to give. Again, we want to practice what we preach. We want to, and we know that we have the power to release yourself. And now, when we have the ability and the knowledge to know that we are able to release yourself, now we're able to forgive and be forgiven. You don't have to expect yourself, and I've heard people say this, you cannot expect yourself and other people. No, but I can expect me in me. I don't listen, but you can be an example for others to follow. I don't expect you in me, but I expect me in me. When you know what to do, you do. When you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. I expect me in me. It's a part of who I am. It's a part of my DNA. So when it is a part of my DNA, I have to forgive in order that I am able to be forgiven, because I don't want to show up and think that somebody should do something that I am unwilling to do myself. But you want others to do it for you. I'm going to say it over and over and over and over and over and over again on tonight. Forgive and be forgiven. Forgive and be forgiven. Forgive and be forgiven. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. If you need to go back and watch the movie, let it go. Let it go. Release yourself. Let it go, because you want others to see it in you. You want to forgive in order to be forgiven. Forgive means, or forgiveness means, an intentional decision to let go of resentment and anger. when I walk in when I walk in an atmosphere of forgiveness, I am letting go of things that have wronged me, things that I believe are not right. I am letting those things. I'm letting those things go. I am releasing those things. See, you can forgive someone, but it doesn't mean that you forget. When I forgive, it doesn't mean that I am forgetful of what happened. I am just able to let go of the baggage that comes along with it. The act or the hurt may still be offensive, and it'll always be with me, but I don't have to carry around unforgiveness. I don't have to carry around the hurt. I don't have to carry that around. I can release the hurt and walk in forgiveness, because when I forgive, forgiveness is about me. See, if you tie everything together, we have been accountable to ourselves. I've been accountable to me, not being accountable to other people. But I'm doing this for me. I'm releasing myself. I am forgiving so that I can be forgiven, so that I can go where I need to go, so that I don't have anything in my line that is hindering me. Your reaction when you think about it is totally your reaction when you think about things is totally different when you are at a place of forgiveness. When you would previously be upset or relive or rehash. Have you had somebody to rehash the whole situation and you say to them, man, I mean, you act like it just happened yesterday and it was 5 years ago, or it was 10 years ago, or it was 20 years ago. You have to let it go. You have to forgive so that you can be forgiven. Because, see, when you forgive, things within you begin to change. Things within you, you no longer have the sweaty palms. You no longer have that feeling of anger. Now you say that it's all good. Now you may turn around and whisper a word of prayer over or for the person or the situation. You may give yourself a little cheer, like, hey, 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 I did it, because you can see the change in yourself. You can see how you have reacted differently to the situation. My attitude and my understanding now is I understood the assignment. I understood why it came the way that it did. And I am okay with it. I lived past it. I survived it. I'm okay with it now. And I'm able to sit next to the person that wronged me and not have any feelings. See, that's when you are walking in forgiveness. That's when you can forgive to be forgiven, when you have released yourself to forgive. To forgive is a different type of mindset, because forgiveness means that you intentionally had to think about it and make a decision to let it go. You had to be intentional about your thoughts. You had to be thoughtful about your thoughts. You had to be thoughtful about your thoughts. You had to actively engage with your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, and admit that it hurt you, and admit that you had an attitude, and admit that you were mad about it. And then you had to be intentional about moving forward. I'm going on with my life. I'm no longer going to allow this to hinder me any longer. I'm not going to allow it to hinder me. I'm being intentional with my forgiveness. I know you're asking, Marshall, Vitamin M, what does this have anything to do with motivating me? I am motivating you into an era of forgiveness so that you are able to tap in to greater, so that you are able to make it to that next level. We must all practice forgiveness in our lives. We must forgive people in our business and in our personal lives, because you're still interacting with people, and people are people. People are human beings. And when you're dealing with human beings, there's a margin of error. It is like, even in security measure, they would tell you the biggest hindrance to security are the people involved in it. We have to keep our outside exterior doors locked. Well, if somebody puts a rock in it, there goes the doors automatically lock. We don't have to lock them. They are set. But if somebody puts something in the door, it stops it from working. So that's the place. That's what I'm talking. Like, we're still dealing with humans. So you have to forgive in your business when you believe that somebody or someone should have done something that they didn't do. And people can hurt you intentionally and unintentionally. But you have to learn to forgive and move on. To forgive is to also be forgiven. You have to forgive not the person, the people, or the situation. It's all about you. You're not doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself. Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is for you. It's for us. When you release yourself into an era of forgiveness. Forgive yourself. Forgive and be forgiven. Because I'm forgiving people that I thought should have showed up, that I thought should have followed me, that I thought I should have made the business deal, or I thought I was doing all the right things, but it did not work out the way that I wanted it to work. So I have to allow myself to forgive. And you also have to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not stepping out of the box. Forgive yourself for allowing that person or people or things to control your life. Forgive yourself. Forgive and be forgiven after these messages.
Are you ready to transform your life? Meet Marshall Sterling, the dynamic motivational speaker who inspires thousands to unlock their full potential. With her powerful messages and practical strategies, Marshall helps you overcome obstacles and achieve your dreams. Don't miss out on the opportunity to ignite your passion and embrace your greatness. Book Marshall Sterling for your next event and start your journey to success today.
Forgiveness is all about you. The secret is forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is not about the other person. Forgiveness is personal. It's to allow me to unlock the things in my life. See, we all make mistakes, and one day you will make a mistake. If you never made a mistake in your life, don't worry. One day you will make a mistake and you will wrong somebody that you're very close to, that it was unintentional, and you will seek and desire and want them to know that I need you to forgive me. But you have to be in a mindset and in an atmosphere of forgiveness. You have to practice forgiveness daily. You have to make forgiveness a practice so that others are able to extend it to you, because you do it, because you're not expecting something that you're not willing to give your own self. Forgive and be forgiven. You do unto others what you would have them to do unto you. Forgive and be forgiven. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Forgive and be forgiven. We're blocking our own blessing we're blocking our own blessings from good things coming our way because we can't simply forgive the person. No matter what you do in life, you must practice forgive and be forgiven. You're going to begin to take on the attitude and the understanding that you need it, that you need to release yourself, and that you need to forgive more than the other person needs it. You need it more. I need it because it becomes a fabric. It's the fabric of my life. It is who I am. Forgive and be forgiven. When you when you forgive, I don't want anything in my way. So I forgive. I'm leaving the heavy load in 2024, and I'm walking in more like running into 2025 with forgiveness. I forgive you for stepping on my toe. I forgive you for not showing. I forgive you for not showing up because you didn't really have to show up. I I forgive. I forgive. I forgive you for the way that you treated me. I forgive you for the way that you talked to me. See, you did me wrong in business, but I forgive you because if I want my business to succeed, if I want things magical to happen for me, I have to forgive to be forgiven. We are given, it says, new mercies daily. We have to learn to walk in newness and to let go of the old because it is what we do. See, you're the one you're the one with the dream. You're the one with the calling. Forgive and be forgiven. It makes life better for you. You take control of the narrative because it's something about unforgiveness in your heart. It builds up. It makes you a different kind of person. You don't walk the same. You don't talk the same. You don't act the same when you walk in unforgiveness because it's heavy on you and you have to release the heaviness if you want to go where you need to go. You need to own the business. The doors will open in an attitude of forgiveness. You take control of the narrative of your life when you forgive. Forgive again simply means to let it go and move forward. 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 Forgive and be forgiven. See, you leave it all behind and you operate differently when you learn to operate in an era of forgiveness. See, forgiveness gives you wings. It gives you flight. It gives you joy. Forgiveness gives you peace. It gives you love. It gives you happiness and it gives you a positive mindset. Forgive and be forgiven. See, when you forgive, according to a Washington Post survey, they said that 52% have forgiven others. So there is another 48% that are walking around carrying unchecked baggage and unforgiveness. 52% of adults have actually forgiven others. Only 52% of us have saw a need to or a desire or a want or an action to be intentional about forgiving somebody or something, whatever it may be. It doesn't mean that I have to forget the situation. It doesn't mean I'm going to totally erase it out of my mind. It's just that it doesn't impact me the same anymore. But then there is also only 40% that say that they have asked for forgiveness. So even fewer people have went to somebody else and said, will you forgive me for whatever it is? See, it forgiveness keeps businesses going. Forgiveness keeps families together. It keeps a marriage together. It keeps children together. Simply forgiveness, because forgiveness causes us to have to sit and to talk and to have a discussion. Forgiveness brings us to the table because I have to be intentional about it. I have to be intentional about moving forward. The simple act of forgiveness, I didn't say it was going to be easy. I just said that we needed to do it. Nothing is ever, but it's not that it's even hard. It's just that we need to be able to check ourselves so that we can operate together, so that we can move and we don't have to talk about the elephant in the room because we can bring the elephant to the table and we can discuss it so that our business can flourish, so that I can reach those that I am destined and that I need to reach. It is it is necessary and important to forgive others. When you forgive others, you're just being a great example of how human beings treat other human beings. You have to practice forgiveness when people don't support you like you feel they should have, or when the deal doesn't go through, when things don't work out the way that I think that they should. I have to forgive. And there's something about when you forgive yourself, when you tell yourself that it's okay, when you tell yourself the next time, or when you have to forgive yourself when you know that you should have done something, but you didn't do it, but you held your own self back, but you put your foot on your own neck, you sabotaged yourself. You have to forgive yourself for sabotaging yourself. You have to forgive yourself. In order for you to operate from a place of healing and not from a place of hurt, you have to practice forgiveness. See, you can't run a business and you are hurt, because hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. And you don't want to hurt those that are working for you, that want to see you that want to see and desire for you to be successful. You don't want to hurt those people. So you have to forgive so that you are able to operate from a different place. Forgive and be forgiven. It is an intentional action. It's intentional. It is an intentional action. Forgive and be forgiven. Forgive and be forgiven. Forgive and be forgiven. Show forgiveness. Exude forgiveness. Talk about forgiveness. Be an example for forgiveness. Look for forgiveness in others when they are unable to forgive you. Forgive them anyway. Forgive them anyway. When they can't do it, you do it. When they know that they should, but they won't do it anyway. Forgive and be forgiven. Forgive and be forgiven. Call your own self out. It's all about you. Say, I should not have done that. That was the wrong attitude. That was the wrong way to operate. Call out yourself. Forgive and be forgiven. Do this one just for you, because it is an intentional action. You have to stop. You've got to think about it. You have to process through it. You have to be able to be reflective. When you are forgiving, you are a reflective person. You are looking on your practices and you want to get better. Forgive and be forgiven. I will offer you one step for forgive and be forgiven. Move forward. Move forward. Let it go. Move forward. Let it go. Move forward. Let it go and move forward. That's how you make it to a place of forgiveness, because you want it reciprocated. You want it to come back to you. So when you let it go, you move forward, and you have to keep telling yourself, keep going because I've forgiven that. Keep going because I've let that go. Keep going because I'm no longer at that place. See, I want you to write down what hurt you on a piece of paper. I want you to crumble it up and throw it in the trash. It's over with. It's done. You have to, and forgive it. Forgive it when you're putting it in, and then move forward, because I've let that go. I'm no longer at that place. That is not who I am anymore. I'm not the old me. This is the new me that's walking in forgiveness. That's walking in forgiveness. Forgive and be forgiven. Merry Christmas. I love you, and we will see you on next week.
Join us next week to get your weekly dose of vitamin M. Please visit our website at www.marshallsterling.com.